This is a little bit odd because
so we're back. Hopefully the sound is fixed. We had to stop the show on the YouTube side and come back.
We're back.
We have the full show on our Facebook side.
So
we're moving on to
Escape Plan
3, The Extractors.
It's a little bit weird. So hopefully you guys saw Escape Plan 1, which was
the one with Stallone and
Schwarzenegger.
Well, who?
I was gonna say Schwarzenegger.
Watch it,
where they were trying to escape a prison cell, and you find out it's actually
don't spoil it. It's not a spoiler show.
It was years ago.
It doesn't matter.
You find out it's like the secret cells that. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you where it is then.
Yeah.
Even though it's referenced in this movie.
But if they haven't seen this movie, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So you need to at least watch the first one before you watch this one.
Cool.
The second one you can technically skip.
Well, the second one, I liked the second one.
I do too. But
it's another mystery. So there's these mystery prisons being built
so hold on.
in
Did you
secret
tell
locations.
Basically, okay, let's do
Sylvester Stallone is this guy who can break out of any jail in the world.
He helps design security systems for prisons, and so they hire him to break out.
Yes.
And then he tells them how to fix their security system.
And then he ends up in one in episode 1.
In part 1, and he gets taken, he gets kind of tricked into a try to check situation, and then they don't let him out, and then shenanigans ensue.
Okay, the second one is a guy that works for him somehow ends up in another secret facility.
I think he was doing the same thing, and then they took him and put him somewhere else.
And so Sylvester Stallone's really just kind of...
He's kind of a glorified cameo.
In his head, he's like, okay, Sylvester Stallone taught me this. So he's like counting the steps and measuring the width. And so it's actually really interesting, and I liked it.
And there's a secondary story where Stallone is in the second one where him, and that's where he goes meets Batista, and then they're trying to figure it out, and then they try to hate him.
Okay,
and it actually ends with them trying to figure out there's this mysterious entity that's behind this prison. So they're like, we're going to stop them. We're going to find you.
Right.
So we assumed
that was this.
This one. Not so much.
But we kind of learn about
it is, but this one actually harkens back to the first movie.
We do find out kind of who's been doing it.
But we don't know if they were involved in the second one. We only know they're
involved in the first one. I'm assuming the second one.
Maybe we're just supposed to assume that.
Yeah. But now, this is the story now of some other person gets taken, and we got to go save him, basically.
But this time, Stallone is heavier in the film. They add on some new members. Obviously, Batista comes back. 50 Cent comes back, sort of. He's barely in the movie. He's got a small cameo this time. He's like in the Stallone part from part 2, basically. Batista returns in a small part. He's got some good fights and some good action, but he's not in the movie that much, but he is in it. Then you also have Harry Shum Jr., who's most notably from Glee, and wasn't he on your Shadowhunters show?
He's on Shadowhunters, and he's also in the first Crazy Rich Asians. Right?
I don't remember him being in it.
He's an Asian.
Is he the one that what's in the cameo at the very end of the movie?
Yes.
So he'll be in the second one then, in theory. He's also in, which you've never watched, in, I believe, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon 2.
Oh, okay.
I believe he's in that. It's on Netflix now.
Well, he's just everywhere. And
but
he
also,
does such a good job.
Matt Zhang is in this, who I was super excited that I totally didn't remember he was in this. He just most recently had Master Z, Ip Man Legacy. He was in Ip Man 3. There's another big one. Now I'm forgetting what it is. Anyway.
No, he walks in. I'm like, oh, something's about to happen. He's just walking in with his briefcase and his umbrella.
He has the guy.
And I'm like, oh.
That guy has a look about him.
I know something's gonna happen.
He looks insanely civilized, but also like he's gonna kill everyone in the room all at the same time.
Well, and I thought he was walking in with a sword or something.
No,
it was just an umbrella. I was like, I'm still scared.
But he just through the whole movie he doesn't speak hardly at all. Mm-mm. When he does, it's in Chinese or whatever, and he just has a presence about him, which makes me why I'm so glad I see him in a movie like this, and not just in Asian productions, you know. And when he did Master Z, that was his chance to kind of carry the movie past Ip Man 3, and he's in that movie with Dave Bautista as well.
Oh, they must be BFFs.
So anyway. So this one also has Devon Sawa, who we haven't seen in quite some time, who was a kid in the first Final Destination movie.
I had no idea.
I believe he's been on a bunch of TV shows and stuff like that now, but I haven't at least memorably seen him in quite a while. And he's like a grown person now. He's
what's on your shirt?
That's Ronnie the limo driver.
Oh, is this one of the shirts you got for your
Yeah.
birthday?
It's a flat Ronnie.
Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Continue.
Why are you worried about flat Ronnie?
I was just wondering who was on your shirt. It distracted me for a second.
69. Something Ronnie would
I
say.
have no idea.
Anyway, but Devin Sawa shows up as the bad guy here. And so this one.
It's because he got taken by Blair Witch.
What?
You said he was in Blair Witch?
I did not say Devin Sawa was in Blair Witch.
Who
He was in
was?
Final Destination.
Oh, that other guy.
What?
Oh,
Nobody in this movie was in Blair Witch.
Oh, Final Destination.
What the hell are you even talking about?
I got
Nobody even mentioned Blair Witch. You just pulled that out of your ass and decided to talk about Blair
I
Witch.
didn't listen to what you said.
This is my life, ladies and gentlemen. She listens to nothing I says and answers questions that I never said.
You said Final Destination, and I heard Blair Witch for some
Because
reason.
it sounds exactly the same.
Okay, well, you can't escape death.
They didn't even start with the first same letter. I couldn't even get that for you.
I just completely heard something else.
You're a wackadoo.
I am. I love you.
Anyway, you got chocolate on your lip.
And then you know what? We're gonna be together until you die.
What is this laugh? And why is that hilarious?
Because if I'm a wackadoo, you still have to deal with me forever.
I don't.
We're never gonna leave
We're
each
gonna.
other.
You know what's really popular on these YouTube channels is when they do. We love that all y'all. We love that y'all loved our videos, but we're on here to tell y'all that we're breaking up, and it's so horribly
Never
sad.
gonna happen.
Nah.
You're never getting rid of me, buddy. I'm
Dude,
gonna haunt you.
we
even
might
if
go
you
live
love
and be smothering you with a pillow. That's why I have all these pillows here.
That's my way. I'm gonna kill you.
You can't stay awake long enough to kill me.
I know, but that's the only time I would be able to kill you is if you're asleep.
Look, okay, hold on, escape plan. Look,
Time out. How you would kill your spouse.
That's
Part
right.
one.
the problem with any of your plans, it always involves me being asleep, which I rarely do,
I know.
which means you would have to wake up to do that. It takes you 30 minutes just to open your eyes. By the time you wake up, make your way over to the side of the bed to murder me, you're going to be standing there going,
I know.
I'm going to wake up and be like, what are you doing? You're just going to go, never mind, and go back to
It wasn't worth
bed.
it.
Okay, anyway, we're sorry we
Anyway,
got off on a
sorry.
sidetrack of murdering me for some reason.
Well,
At least
now,
we have evidence
now I
now.
know you're gonna smother me.
I'm not
So
smothering anybody.
y'all heard it.
I wanna make
He
sure-
threatened to smother me.
I want to make
If
sure.
something happens, call 911.
I want to make sure there's a video of this. I will not ever smother her. I want to make sure she sees it coming.
That's harsh. That's even worse. Let me die in my
All right,
sleep
calm down, Winnie the
peacefully.
Pooh. All right,
Okay, sorry.
so back to the movie we were talking about, unlike the one that you just.
I really
made
like
up.
the movie. I don't care. I don't care if it connected to 2 or 1 or whatever. I think this movie was really good.
It was. It had an old 80s, 90s gritty vibe to it. There's nothing here that we haven't seen before, but
No.
it's decent action. It's got just enough story to keep it moving forward. It's got some great fights. It's got some good shootouts.
And
You know.
the prison, this time the secret prison thing was creepy.
It wasn't really a secret prison this time. It was just more of a hostage situation that they went
But
through.
it was
It was the
creepy.
actual Shawshank prison.
I bet that place is haunted though. I'd be freaking out to be
But
filming
speaking
there.
of haunted, we'll discuss that in a minute. But we posted a clip on our YouTube channel that was a behind the scenes thing, because there's a scene where Devin Sawa and Stallone fight, and the entire thing is not choreographed.
Which is insane.
They just went in there and just went at it.
They just hit each other for fun.
Yeah, and it worked. It was a great little fight.
It was really cool.
So
I like Dave Bautista, by the way.
I do too.
He
Although
did a little more this time.
did I tell you about his recent tweet? Somebody
yes.
tweeted that they were like, hey, what about getting The Rock and John Cena in some other Fast and Furious spinoff movie with Dave Bautista the villain? And he posted like a little sick face, and he's like no thank you, or not interested, or something like that. And then hashtag I like doing good movies, or something like that. I'm like, yikes. I don't know if
He
he has
must be in a
I don't know if he has a problem with one of those guys. He was being funny, or he just doesn't like the Fast and Furious movies. I don't know.
Who knows? I do.
But I give Batista props, because Dave Batista, as far as the man and on social media, he always speaks his mind.
Yep.
Like, he defended James Gunn. I honestly think he's one of the reasons James Gunn got his job back for Guardians 3, because he told Disney publicly, I will not be in Guardians 3 if James Gunn isn't rehired. He's posted numerous things about like turning on, because I don't quote me on this because I could be wrong, but I believe he has a lesbian mother.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what I read. I could be completely wrong, but I want to think that because he was responding to somebody that was bashing, gay couples or something like that, and he thought that he was
rude.
like, and they were talking about how their kids are always messed up and whatever, and he said something. He goes, "Well, I have 2 mothers and I'm doing just fine," or something like that. I could be misinterpreting.
People just need to mind their own business.
I know, but I could be misinterpreting the way what it was actually referring to and how it was said. But anyway, I give him props for that, and he's another one of those kind of come a long way because he went from, the normal wrestling thing to just some generic, throwaway films like The Rock did. But once he got that Guardians of the Galaxy stuff, because he did Man with Iron Fist that we liked.
Yeah.
Then he did like Kickboxer Vengeance playing the new Tong Po. So he does a lot of crazy. He clearly likes martial arts flicks too. So now he's in Master Z.
Yeah.
He's done a few of them. So anyway, I like him too. And he tweeted me back one time way back years ago
nice.
when we reviewed that Riddick, the third Riddick movie.
Yes.
Because he's in that
liked
too.
it. I liked all the Riddick movies. I don't know what else did, but I did.
The second one was a little pretentious.
I just went with it.
But you just liked the second one because Carl Urban was in it. Shut up.
I like anything with him in it.
But in the third one, when I reviewed it, it was one of the early films I reviewed. I talked about the movie and I enjoyed the movie, but he tweeted me directly and said, "Thank you for your honest review, and more importantly, thank you for not bashing Vin Diesel for just no apparent reason."
Oh yeah,
because a lot of viewers were bashing him at the time about how he can't act, or he was gay, or he was this, or making the speculations about him and attacking his character instead of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just respond, I'm like, I don't know the man. I can't say anything about. I don't bash actors.
Nope.
I'll bash a performance, but I'm not gonna bash him as a human.
I'll tell you if I don't like their face, but that doesn't mean
but that's nothing to do with anything. So anyway, so moving on.
Anyways, check it out.
Escape Plan comes out this week.
I wish there was more fitty. But there's not.
I apologize. I don't know for a fact yet, but I think we may have some copies of Escape Plan to give away. But I probably won't know until tomorrow.
Free stuff.
So I'll keep you posted. But on our YouTube channel, there is that clip. There's also the Red Band trailer, as well as a review. I believe you probably already shared.
I just heard it.
So
as I eat candy in your face.
So I guess the last two are stuff that I've seen.
Okay.
So are you going to leave or?
No.
I don't
I'm
really
ask
need
questions.
you anymore.
I'll interview you.
No, this other one I'm going to throw out here. I wasn't planning to even talk about this movie, but since we have a little bit of time and our stream got interrupted on the other side. So this one is the latest from Lionsgate, the new John Travolta movie.
Oh, goodness.
It's called The Poison Rose. It's John Travolta and Morgan Freeman, Brendan Fraser, what is her name? Famke Jensen, whatever. Jean Grey from the original X-Men trilogy.
The other one. Is she Egyptian or what is her name?
Huh?
She Egyptian? I'm always intrigued.
Is she Egyptian? I thought you said, is she like a Simpson or something? Like, what the hell are you
because
saying?
her name is like so exotic and sweet.
Maybe she's,
I like it.
She's from Cleveland.
No.
Anyway, movie called The Poison Rose. And you know what? I'm always intrigued by these kind of releases. So at the top. First one. Monkey Jansen. So anyway, I'm always intrigued by these releases that come out because you see some of these movies that come on the big screen and they're good or they're bad or whatever.
From the Netherlands.
But when you get a movie like this comes out and the two people on the cover are John Travolta and Morgan Freeman, it makes you wonder, why did this not get a release?
Yeah, big budget.
But then you see some of these movies and you realize why they didn't get the release.
Aww.
Now this is one of those movies that's not bad, but it's not particularly good either.
Oh,
the whole story is Travolta's a PI type.
Yeah.
Well, he is a PI from in Los Angeles, and he heads back home to his hometown of Galveston, Texas. So we get down into the very old school Southern drawl of the Galveston, like whatever. It's not old in time, but it takes it that way.
That's cliche to me because that's not even true.
I know there's a lot of Southern accents and stuff in it, but
that's not even how it is.
it did give the movie character, which it needed.
Wow.
And this is very old school, like film noir, because complete with Travolta narrating it.
I probably wouldn't like it.
Like it's that kind of stuff where she's like, she walked into my office and she looked like she was wondering, but it made it feel like something bigger.
Okay.
And it works. The narration works. He's fitting in this role because he's kind of that drunkard, clearly been through some crap, PI, doesn't trust anybody, but he's good at his job, but he's not really reliable kind of thing. Morgan Freeman's kind of in and out. He's kind of more of a throwaway character with importance. She's like the funky lady's like his ex-girlfriend when he lived there, but he's there to try to solve a murder. The real person that's kind of the standout outside of Travolta in this one is Brendan Fraser, who's
what has Brendan Fraser been doing?
Well, he's on Doom Patrol on the DC universe.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool. Good for him.
He's awesome in that show. But he's had some semblance of a resurgence recently because he had some TV show. I don't remember what it was, where he was like a sheriff or something. It's one of those cable shows. Scroll down one more, I'll tell you what it is. Trust, I think it was. Yeah, Trust was the show that he did. Was the one I knew about. But he comes in here and he's
got a lot of things coming up. So good for him.
Big fat guy. He's almost unrecognizable. He's a little sleazy and creepy, but also you don't know if he's involved in anything or if he's just a creepy guy. He's not in the movie a lot, but he's got a kind of an important part, and he's good in the roles. He was really good. I thought this is one of the better Travolta performances in a while.
That's good.
Travolta has basically turned into like Bruce Willis and a lot of these guys that have like 2 or 3 movies come out on DVD or Blu-ray every year.
Yeah.
And most people don't see him, and most of them are kind of eh. So this one's one of those. It's one of his better ones, but like I said, if you watch it, you may not even remember everything you watched. When you finish it, you're just like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So, but The Poison Rose is available now, Blu-ray and DVD. So if you want to check it, if you like Travolta, check it out. If you don't, stay away from it.
Well, hopefully you like Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, but he's not in it enough. It'll just make you mad. If you watch the movie for him, it's going to be a waste of time because he's just barely in it. He's an important character, but he's not a significant to the main movie. So anyway, so the last movie, I guess, is the biggest movie of the. It wasn't number 1 in the box office this week. Toy Story was number 1 again. Toy Story 4, excuse me. But it is the latest chapter in the Conjuring universe. Annabelle Comes Home. So if you don't,
did it do good though?
I think it was number 2. I think it was the lowest, I believe, of the Annabelle films. So I don't think it did as well. I will say it is the best.
You think it's because of time of year? I think it needs to be more a Halloween movie.
No, I think it's one of those things that it's coming off the heels of. The first Annabelle movie is not great. It's okay. It probably falls along the line. It's okay and not good, depending on who you ask. Annabelle Creation, which is technically a prequel to Annabelle, they're all out of order.
Confused.
That's the problem with the Annabelle series is it's out of order.
I feel like you need to know too. Like you need to be a fan and know where you're at in the story.
Because all of it's connected to the Conjuring movies. So now in just so you get where we're at.
Okay,
we have the Conjuring 1 and 2.
Yeah.
We now have 3 Annabelle movies.
Yep.
We have The Nun.
Yep.
And then I think there's another one coming, and then we have Conjuring 3 coming. And then now you have Curse of La Llorona, which they always said was not connected, but it is in fact connected.
It is.
Loosely. Well, now even more so. And I'm going to spoil that part of it because it's so insignificant to the film. Yeah. It's in the trailer, but it's a moment that if you blink, you'll miss it. So if you don't, I thankfully caught it, but it's one of those that I think they did it so subtle that it's a shame that people would pass by to not see it. And I'd be like, oh man, they're not going to see that. But if you saw the Curse of La Llorona, there's a sequence where
that is not at all what that is.
Because in the sequence where there's like the tunnel, and there's the car issue.
Oh, I know exactly what happens.
So the mother, not the Linda Carlini or whatever, but the other mother that's dealing with the kids.
Yes.
She's standing out in the middle of the street by herself, whatever. So in the trailer for Annabelle Comes Home, they showed the scene in the trailer. So it's not like I'm telling you something that's not already out there. In the thing you've seen the trailer for Annabelle Comes Home. So when it's got the Warrens in the car and the cop stops and says, hey, you have to turn around and go the other way. And they're like, is there anything we can help with? It cuts back to looking up.
Yeah, they should have been able to help.
Well, it cuts to the distance shot, and it's the shot of that lady standing in there right before the tunnel. So that's the only connection, but it shows that, okay, they were there.
Well, but remember in the Llorona, they're kind of made reference to them.
Well, because the priest shows up.
The padre is like,
says,
we know somebody.
He's like, I had to deal with, because he's in Annabelle, and he got possessed by Annabelle and had to deal with that. So in La Llorona, I'm sorry, La Llorona, he said,
how would you just say it normal?
I am saying it the proper way. That's how you say it. I checked.
Who did you check with?
Don't worry about I have my sources.
Okay.
But anyway, but they that's a subtle connection. So if you want to know the order of these movies, so the first Conjuring movie, it opens with them getting Annabelle.
Yes.
They're interviewing these girls. The girls are telling them the story of this person that moved in and is all that's haunted and it seems creepy and they can get together. They were like, we'll take it. They leave with it. Then the movie goes into the big story. It was a throwaway opening based on a real doll that they have, which in real life, the doll's like a Raggedy Ann.
It's a Raggedy Ann.
So when they made the Annabelle movie, it was meant to be a prequel of showcasing what happened. So if you see the original Annabelle, it shows like this cult and the neighbors, and then it ends up with another family and whatever. So it ends with the doll being found or bought, whatever. So then they went back with Annabelle Creation. It's a prequel of how the doll itself got made, and then where the Annabelle spirit itself came from, and it leads up right directly into the first Annabelle movie.
Right.
The other Annabelle movie ends leading into the first Conjuring movie. Right?
Yes.
So now you have Annabelle Comes Home, which now picks up the beginning of Conjuring, where they take the Annabelle doll away.
Where they've just gotten it.
And now they're taking the doll home.
Home.
So they're driving down the street with the doll sitting in the back seat like a child.
Right.
Yeah. So they get it home, and now they leave, which I can only assume is they're now going to deal with that Conjuring situation. So Patrick Wilson,
all connected.
Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, they're in the movie at the beginning and kind of at the end, but they're not in the middle, right?
Okay, yeah.
And they have this babysitter that comes to stay with their daughter. So the whole movie takes place at the Warrens' house. And then it's just the shenanigans that ensue. I actually really like this one. I know some people like Creation better. I actually like this one better. But it's because you get so many different things. Because if you've never seen them, the Warrens have a room that's blessed like however many times per week by a priest, because it's housing all these haunted objects or possessed objects or whatever you want to call it that they've taken from different exorcisms and whatnot. So it shows them bring Annabelle in and do the spirit thing and why they put her behind the glass and why the glass is important and this and that. That's all like just kind of throwaway beginning stuff. So what's wrong?
They have an actual Warren Occult Museum.
Oh, I know. We're going to go one day.
No, we're not.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Oh, my
So
gosh.
anyway, then it spins off. My problem initially with the movie was it had the stereotypical tons of stupid decision making.
Well,
And I'm like, but you expect it from a horror film.
Yeah,
right?
that's what
But
I'm
like,
say.
Does it have to be constant? Like, you did this, something horrible happened, yet you're going to make the same decision again. And the same decision. It happens, I want to say, probably 3 times by the same character. But closer to the movie, or not, about halfway through the movie probably, they explain why she's making said decision. It makes a little more sense because she's not thinking straight. And she's trying to do something specific that you don't really know about initially. So, but what's clever is the one cool thing with the Annabelle that I like is Annabelle never does anything. She doesn't get up and walk around. She doesn't. She's not Chucky. There's always something else. And they say in the trailer that Annabelle's more of a beacon of evil spirits. So what that does is that allows them in the new one, because they're at the Warrens' home, you get a plethora of things that go wrong.
Not okay.
And so they're able to be creative and take this thing and this statue and this coin or this clock or this doll or whatever. And no matter where you go, it's almost like running through a fun house of horror. So to me, it made it more exciting. It's never the same, just turning around and there's Annabelle again. Turn around, there's Annabelle again. It felt like you don't know what was going to happen when you go in the next room. There's there's a samurai thing in it, the movie. That's just the armor, when you see it, are we going to see it do anything? When you see some of this, so you see stuff from the other movies that's been brought in there, you see different things.
New things.
Yeah.
That you don't know about yet.
It's
which
really
could lead to movies about all those artifacts.
Well, that's the thing is they
interesting.
That's the thing is they open up. There's a sequence where and this isn't spoiler either, but there's a sequence in their office, and there's files everywhere. And at one point they open one file and they're like, oh, this is something about something, and they close it. put it away. So now it's showing, hey, we've now mentioned this. You know, it has something
could
else.
They come back to
Yeah, and
movie?
there's like they could go back to feudal Japan and talk about the samurai armor. They could go back to this with a monkey clapping with the cymbals. It was in The Conjuring, and there's so many things that can be dealt with. That this is an unlimited franchise.
It really is.
The problem with it is, do people still want to see them? You know, so it depends on how well it's carried. You know, we'll see. I guess when The Conjuring 3 comes out, and I think it's The Tall Man. I think they're doing.
Yeah.
I think that's another one that's coming out.
But would we also? There were the real life Warrens were involved in Amityville. So could we have these characters go do an Amityville?
Yeah, you can. They could do that. They were the story that the Amityville Horror is based on.
Yeah.
And
even though there have been people who've tried to debunk it.
I want to say the second movie was closer to the Amityville Horror.
Okay.
But not, if I remember correctly.
Is that the one with the lady hanging on the tree?
No, that's the first. I think that's the first one.
I get them all confused.
Because you won't sit down and just watch them.
Oh, I want to watch them in chronological.
Okay.
I'm actually scared.
You got to watch The Nun then.
I don't want to watch The Nun.
The Nun is. I really had fun.
Nuns are scary.
Well, this Nun's even scarier.
This Nun's creepy looking.
So, but anyway, I really enjoyed it. And Lorraine Warren, Ed Warren, is it Ed? Yeah. He died some time ago. She actually died, I believe, last year or this beginning of this year or something. There is a thing of her at the end of this movie that says, you know, the date dedicated to Lorraine Warren, whatever. So, but we'll see. I know the guy, James Wan, who is still kind of heading up the franchise, even though he's not really directing any of them anymore. He was so impressed with the guy that directed La Llorona that he's actually now directing Conjuring 3.
Oh, okay, cool.
So he got new work out of that.
There's going to be 3? What's that about?
It's the Warrens and them again doing something else.
Oh, man. I'm so scared and freaked out by these movies. I can't handle it. I don't like creepy dolls. Obviously, I don't like possessed dolls. I don't like anything dealing with possession because I think it's real. I don't like any of this stuff. It freaks me out, man.
I love the Conjuring uniform. I can't get enough of it. I love it all.
Well, it's too much for me.
Anyway.
It makes my tummy hurt.
So that's a big one. But speaking of the Annabelle, that's all the movies we're going to talk about. But we had the fun pleasure. We posted a live video of it. We got to go to the Annabelle Artifact Tour, which sadly is now over. So we're telling you about something you can't do now. It went through the United States. It ended here. It was basically a trailer that was on the outside. You can see them, but you walk through it. It's filled with the items from the Warrens' room that are all haunted and whatnot, as well as a big booth, an Annabelle booth. So we get there first, and I apologize to anybody that was going to go. They gave us the wrong times to promote it, so it was at 3 and not 1.
That's okay.
But it was
hopefully
fun. So we get there. The first thing they tell you, and there's signs for it too, that say you're going to have to sign a waiver, and if you have any heart conditions, you can't go in here. So she's already upset about having to deal with this now.
I'm not okay with any of this stuff. And I know the stuff in this trailer probably isn't the real stuff.
I don't know. There were some. We're going to tell you as we talk about it. There's some shenanigans.
There were some things that happened, you guys. So maybe it was the real stuff.
So you go in and you walk in there and then they shut the door. So now we actually went through it twice.
Yes.
We went through with a bunch of friends that were with us. Before we tell you what we saw, I was you were videoing.
I was videoing.
She was videoing for the live feed, and it wasn't going to be live, but for the video for the YouTube channel. She's videoing it, and then we get to the point where you take a picture, like a Annabelle picture thing. She hands me the phone, and so I finished it. You know, I just hit whatever. Then I looked down, and there was only 4 seconds of footage.
That was creepy.
And you filmed it.
Thinking about it now, it's creepy.
You filmed it for like 2 minutes at least.
Because I filmed like a lot of the artifacts and stuff.
And then when you handed it to me, I looked at it at 4 seconds, and it was the end. It filmed none of the artifacts.
It was creepy,
It filmed none of the stuff, and I thought. So then I'm just assuming, okay, maybe I did something. I mean, I know I didn't, but I'm like, whatever. So we did pictures and we got out of there. So we're out talking to people, some friends, and hanging out and whatever. Well, then they left, and we turned around, and the crowd that were going in were all done. So we were like, hey, let's do it again because it's empty. Well, I said that. She didn't say that. She was like, I don't want to do it again. But I was like, we could get our footage. So then we were able to, you could see the
this time we did a video. I talked through it, and that part worked.
But then she was going to go post her pictures you took, her still photos she took.
There are like 3 or 4 pictures of on my camera that came out upside down. I did not have my camera upside down. I didn't turn it. I just did normal pictures like this. A lot of them are correct, but the samurai armor is upside down. There's a picture of something else, like a thing that's up. There's like 3 or 4 pictures that came out upside down. That freaked me out, you guys.
She's like, no.
I'm like, just no, Jesus, no. Help me. Protect me. Because no, that's why I'm telling you. I don't know that. I don't think they're the real artifacts. I don't think they would let those loose.
Well, I'm sure they're not the ones from the Warrens' real house.
But it was freaking me out.
I think they might have been maybe ones from the set of the movie, or they were ones they just designed for that. But who knows? They might have made them cursed on purpose.
Was there a way that you could have a thing like the samurai armor have some sort of reflective thing that when someone takes a picture, it comes out upside down on purpose? I don't know, but it freaked me out.
So what's cool is when you walk through it,
page, they're on there.
Well, you go walk through it. It's basically 2 lines of shelves inside this trailer, and it's all the different things in the movie. And you walk in, there's like a bride, a full mannequin type bride in there with no face. There's a piano playing by itself. There's a TV that when you walk by, you're on the TV, which are all happen. These all stuff that happens when Annabelle Comes Home. It's all part of that. And then as you're in there, that stuff's easy to explain.
Yep.
You're like, mechanics and cameras and whatnot. So that's not stuff that really bothers anybody. And then there's random stuff that, which you still explain, but it's like bells will start ringing, like Ouija board starts moving, the samurai armor starts moving. So, I mean, in given, we all know it's all
we know there's the guy and they're pushing the button.
The typewriter starts typing on its own. And the one that was funny to me, though, is I was shooting a little video. I was zooming in close to this picture. It has a picture of a dead body with coins on its eyes, because that's from Annabelle Comes Home as well.
That one?
Yeah. Well, as I zoomed into it, the monkey started going.
That's
it's like a monkey with an accordion. And so I'm zooming in on the picture like this, and all of a sudden the monkey starts spinning and playing the accordion and whatnot. So, and at the end of it, there's a glass booth that you get in like you're Annabelle, right? But what's crazy is like it's a 2-way mirror, right? Because you couldn't see out once you're inside it. You can see the person inside it. But once you're inside, you can't see out. And then all the lights go out, and Annabelle suddenly says something to you. There's like a banging sound, and then Annabelle appears on the screen. And it's a great fun photo op. We did these. I know you post them already, but we got these little photos. Here's what's funny about it. So here's mine. You can't see it real well, but see me here. I just went and posed, right? And there's like 3 different photos, right? This one here, which is of her, she's actually screaming. So where I pose, she goes, it's really funny.
I was scared.
I know, it was funny.
Making noises and things were happening.
It was fun times, though. It was creepy. It's a clever little promotion down there.
Yeah, it was a good promotion thing. It was just creepy because there's no reason that my photo should have come up upside down, and there's no reason that the video would have gotten deleted.
But it didn't get deleted the second time, so maybe they didn't like somebody.
No, because we were live.
Maybe they didn't like somebody who was with us.
Maybe. Because one of the photos that's upside down.
Eric is super religious. Maybe they didn't like him.
Well, they don't like me either.
Yeah.
That's why my photos came upside down.
Maybe since you came back, they're willing to give you a chance.
No, I don't like it. I'm next.
Anyway, so
let's move on because that freaks me out.
One thing I want to talk about. This is kind of out of left field. This isn't a movie-based thing, but I do want to talk about it because I want to promote it because I'm enjoying it. Dan Fraga, who is a comic book artist. He was huge in the 90s, 2000 era. He worked for Extreme Studios with Rob Liefeld. He worked on a variety of books. He had his I think he was like Kid Supreme, and he had his own book, Black Flag, which is awesome. But he's done tons of stuff over the years in different companies and whatnot. He kind of left the industry for a while, but he was doing storyboards for like Transporter movie. He directed the 2nd season of that animated Ricky Gervais show. He worked, I think, at Mattel for a long time doing art design stuff for the Monster High and all that kind of stuff.
Loved it.
So anyway, over the last couple of years, he's gotten back into a lot of the comic work, working with Liefeld and stuff on Bloodstrike, the new book from Marvel. I believe he did some inks or something on Major X. And he's kind of gotten back in the fold, but he's one of those guys that I follow his page because he draws every day. He has a thing called Couch Doodles, which is a website, a YouTube page where he posts a lot of videos about drawing. Some of it's actual, not so much teaching you how to draw, but him lessons about drawing, but then also letting him watch him draw and that kind of stuff. But I don't know if it was last year or the year before. It might have been the year before. He did this like 365-day drawing thing where he drew this little like mini card every single day. And it was this thing called The Grave. Yeah, and it was put out this whole storyline. And some of them are like watercolored and whatever. So anyway, he put them all together, and IDW has published it in this book called The Grave. It's a cool little book. It's kind of like Stranger Things kind of thing. You know, the kids in the 80s, and then it bounces through different time periods. But if you look at it, see, it's like these. It's just like these little square panels. The whole book is like this. Some of it's in color, some of it's black and white. And it's a great little story. As you see, my bookmark. I'm still reading it. But it's through IDW. You can get it at your local comic book store. I think if you go follow Dan Fraga, there's actually, I think there was a certain place you can, I don't know what it is. I apologize. There's a certain place you can order it that was like a signature edition where he signs them and whatnot. But my local store ordered it for me because I requested it as soon as I knew Dave made it. And it's a great thing. So I just want to promote him. And hopefully I'll be doing an interview with him about this soon.
Nice.
Because he's one of my favorite artists, and I'm glad to see him back. And I believe I read that he may be doing some new Black Flag later this year, so I'm super excited.
That's exciting.
So that's that. That's a totally separate, unsolicited plug that I did it because I'm a fan.
That's okay.
I guess let's talk about giveaways.
Giveaways.
We got a variety of stuff.
I like free stuff. I hope you do too. So check out our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. Go to the little tab that says contests.
So we have a few things. I popped online last Thursday, and I'm going to start doing it every Thursday, where I'll update you guys on what's popping up new on our website, trailers and whatnot, as well as maybe some new movie news, but also what our giveaways are when they're about to end. That's exclusive to our YouTube channel. One of them is this movie Fury that we watched. We were going to talk about it today, and we had so many other ones to talk about. But
that's okay. It was pretty good. It was kind of martial artsy. It's they take her kid, and you don't mess with the lady's kid because she's going to track you down.
And it's Veronica Nagu. It's NGO. I don't know how to say her last name.
No.
But she's in Star Wars: The Last Jedi. She plays Rose's sister at the beginning that sacrifices herself to blow up the bombers in the Star Destroyer. Yeah. Hopefully I'll get to speak with her, but I don't know. But anyway, we're giving away a copy of this. And for originally I thought I had copies of posters from this movie, but I was wrong. But we're still giving away. If you enter a copy of this, you're going to get a copy of this poster for the movie By Bust, which is autographed by the star and the director and another one of the actors in the movie. We have a few of them, so even if you enter, but you don't win this prize, we'll still send you a poster.
Okay. What else we got?
We have a few digital copies left, so you need to hurry up and enter because it's fixing to end. Of Dumbo, all new Dumbo film. We have digital copies left of that, and that contest will be ending in the next day or so, as well as Cinderella, the Walt Disney Collection series. We have a few of those, but that'll be ending as well. I've already given away some of them, so once they're done, they're gone.
And you know, when every time they put out a new edition, they mess me up.
New edition's coming back?
Yes, because this is the what edition of Cinderella?
This is the Walt Disney Signature Collection.
But before that, they had the Diamond Edition.
The Diamond Editions were probably the nicest ones they did in a while because they were the ones that had more discs and big sparkly packaging.
I know, but then these normally have different features than the other editions.
Yeah,
so
some of them have those, some of them
which one do I keep?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this one's really nice.
Anyway, we're also giving away Broad City, the first season. The first season.
Oh, okay.
I'm currently watching it.
That's so cool.
It's a Comedy Central show. One of the girls in it, I don't know her name off the top of my head. I was a fan. She's the one that was stealing his weed in The Night Before.
Oh, yeah, she's funny. Yeah.
It's her and this other girl, and it was a web series, and they spun their web series into a Comedy Central TV series that ran for 5 seasons. So Comedy Central / Paramount are putting out this thing on July 9th. They're putting out the complete series as well as just the 5th season if you already have the rest of them. But we're giving away the complete series, and then we'll tell you more about that in a minute. Also, one you don't know about, hopefully we'll have I'll find out about the Escape Plan 3 giveaways, but we will be giving away, starting Monday, I believe it goes live, a Forrest Gump Anniversary Edition 4K.
What?
Yeah.
Does it come with a box of chocolate?
It does not. But it's I don't remember, 30th anniversary or 20th.
Is this thing still on
20th anniversary. Oh, yeah, that's the other one. Just hold on.
Are you going to find out right now?
Yes, I'm going to find out. It's the 25th anniversary of Forrest Gump on 4K. Also, we have Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, which was the second movie that they did that's harkens more to the actual series than the other Power Ranger movie that upped it with their armor and whatnot. And it actually led right into the Turbo TV series.
That's good.
So that'll be that.
Coming out of the movies, since it's a holiday weekend, normally movies don't come out on Friday. They come out earlier in the week. So this week on Tuesday, we have Spider-Man Far From Home, which you've already seen.
I have seen it.
So I'm excited to go see that. And then Wednesday, July 3rd.
Oh, that's this week?
Midsommar.
Oh, my God, I'm so excited.
So if you guys saw the movie
Hereditary. Same director.
It's the same director, so you can expect a little bit of a weird story, perhaps obviously something dealing here, I guess, with
it's being very
pagans
being compared.
We don't know.
Numerous reviewers have compared it to Wicker Man.
Oh, okay.
And that kind of thing. The entire one thing I will tell you from the trailer that I think is very clever that could be making it very creepy is the entire movie is in the daylight.
Which I am happy because I get scared.
You could be happy and creeped out all at the same time.
I have read some posts that actual pagans or Wiccans or whatever are very upset.
Yes, they are.
Because they're like, y'all are making us look like we're evil, doing sacrifices or whatever. I don't know what it's about, so I don't know. But these are the comments that are already coming out. If you're a pagan or a Wiccan, we support you.
I read one guy wrote a review that he said is not only the best movie he's seen this year, it's probably the best movie he's seen in a decade.
Well, I think now, knowing how Hereditary ended, hopefully you guys saw Hereditary. I was fine all the way into the very end.
I love the ending.
When it took the twist.
Yeah.
But now that I know that that's what I'm expecting from this.
But it may not be the same because he may be doing something different. I know Jordan Peele is super praising this movie.
Yeah.
About how original and grotesquely beautiful it is. And
so we'll see. Hopefully.
Also, those are only two big ones.
That's it.
On Blu-ray and DVD, outside of the stuff I already told you about, there's a movie called An Acceptable Loss with Jamie Lee Curtis and Tika Sumpter coming out, as well as The Public, which I've been really wanting to see.
On, Glee? Or am I making that up?
I don't think she's in Glee.
Why does she look familiar, though?
She's been in other things.
Okay, well, sorry.
But the one I've been really wanting to see is called The Public, which is the new movie written and directed by Emilio Estevez.
Oh, I love that.
And he stars in it as well, along with Alec Baldwin, Jeffrey Wright. I don't remember who else. It's one of those big cast movies. But the story is about the homeless people that are trying to stay in the library because it's freezing winter. And they won't let them stay in.
Yes. Whatever happened to that?
It's coming out this week.
Why did we miss it?
It didn't get a big wide release.
I've been wanting to see. Oh, I love her. She's so cute. I know who she is. Okay. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yeah, she was the one that was in the Barack Obama movie.
You ain't never watched that.
No, but I mean, that's what people most recently might know her from.
Isn't she his
I'm going to know her.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to know her for something dumb.
Anyway, Nobody's Fool is what you know her from last. That's where she's the rich sister, and then Tiffany Haddish is the other one. Anyway, so those are the only probably fairly big ones. The other thing I do want to talk about really fast before we sign out is not only am I doing my my kind of weekday update. We are starting a new show on Tuesdays.
I'm so excited.
Probably won't be as long as this show.
Maybe a 30-minute little check-in.
But we're going to do what?
TV Tuesdays.
So we'll come together on Tuesdays, probably close to 1, 2 o'clock area during the day.
You can watch
we'll go live. This is going to be YouTube exclusive. It's not going to be a Facebook Live.
Only.
But we're going to be doing basically just focusing on TV and not necessarily all new TV. We're going to talk about old TV series. We're going to talk about new stuff we may have discovered.
Well, and there's always box sets coming out that we don't ever really talk about.
I'll talk. TV. Hopefully, I'll have time. I'll talk more in depth about this show next week.
I have one show I want to talk about.
So, and then we'll talk about, like I said, some older shows, stuff we may just be getting introduced to, or stuff we were fans of and we want to complain that they canceled. Like Wolf Creek.
One thing.
Or Wolf Lake, excuse me.
Wolf Lake. And then like the new thing, like the new season of Absentia's out on Prime.
Yeah, so it's just going to be random, kind of a different area.
I mean, there's so many things to talk about. We watch a lot of TV and movies.
So,
and then people are like, how do you find time to watch TV? You turned it on and you just let it play. Yeah, exactly. So, whatever.
Anyway, so that's that.
We can talk about my favorite show.
Okay, not Buffy.
No, the other one too.
We're not talking about 600 Pound Life.
Love 600 Pound Life.
No.
My favorite TV show right now.
No. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for now.
That's what we'll be
I don't
talking
think
about.
we had any theater things because we only saw the one movie, or I saw the one movie, so you weren't even there. It was just weird seeing a bunch of old people in a horror film.
They like it.
I guess.
Anyways,
Anyway,
thank you so much for watching our humble little show. Make sure you check out our website, HollywoodMatrimony.com. You can find us on the Facebook at Hollywood Matrimony, on YouTube at Hollywood Matrimony, on Instagram at Hollywood Matrimony, and also on the Twitter at Hollywood Matter, M-A-T-R, because they cut the letter short. Everybody else is
we apologize for the sound issues on the first half of our YouTube site.
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
So I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to keep them up there. We'll just see how it plays out instead of uploading the other one.
That's fine.
Our show has a budget of a Happy Meal, and we're going to eat it. So that's it.
One day we'll have a fancy show, and then y'all won't even understand what's happening. We could, if we have an opportunity to do a nice show. We might.
We have a potential situation.
Yeah, we have a situation.
Anyway.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Flat Ronnie says bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye.
Hey, don't steal his before line.
Okay.
You got to get up there. This is where the uncomfortable part of our show happens.
Well, there's also a dog.
Watching Winnie the Pooh here try to get up.
And I don't want
to
to hit
butt
the dog.
knocks everything over. And
Bye.
Peace and love.